It's been a while since YouTube's last seen this car. I've been posting on Instagram pretty regularly. So I'm in the middle of a project, kind of going for either 400 horsepower or 20 PSI, whichever comes first, out of this RB20. And in order to do that, I went big turbo with all the supporting mods. You'll have to excuse the mess. Had to make some room for another car. My little brother's 98 2.5 RS. NA automatic. I know I'm looking at the side with the missing side skirt, but it is in decent shape for its age. And if you know, these cars are starting to get tougher and tougher to find. So we're gonna keep it somewhere nice and safe until we figure out pretty much when we're gonna start working on it. But we plan on definitely a swap. We don't know what engine yet, but yeah, we have plans for this car. But until then, I gotta finish this guy. It's been sitting in here for a while. I've had it for a year and 2 months now. And what was factory original quickly spiraled into quite the project. And it all started with a leaking factory intercooler. I had a boost leak with the car, and it would just do a fuel cut when I would go under full boost. After ripping the front bumper off and finally finding the cracked factory intercooler, I figured I was already at the stage where I could just upgrade it to a larger front mount intercooler, which I did. This is a CRX or CX Racing front mount intercooler. It's loosely mounted right now, so it's not like level. So huge project here. If you follow me on Instagram, you are up to date on everything. So I'm just gonna start from the engine bay and work my way back. I guess we'll take care of the elephant in the room first. That'd be the Holset HX35W. Yeah, this is straight off of an early 2000s Cummins. And you might be wondering how a 2-liter, though it is a straight 6, just like a Cummins, it certainly doesn't have the displacement, which is a 5.9 liter. This is a 2-liter RB20DET. So I opted to a smaller turbine housing. This is a 10 centimeter with a 2.5 inch dump, which I have a reducer that goes to a 3-inch exhaust all the way up back. But the compressor side is definitely large, though the compressor size makes it seem like it would never spool. The turbine size downsized for this build, and hopefully, you know, this is all theory, hopefully it actually spools. We'll see. I hand polished this. This is extremely dirty because I did this a few months ago, and I also matched the valve covers, and that was all to match the plenum, the intake plenum, which we'll get to in a sec. So from the hot side, this is the exhaust side, this is the intake side. The exhaust side, we're gonna work our way from the block out. So we have a set of 1320 performance twin scroll, twin 44 millimeter external wastegated T4 flanged exhaust manifold. Super thick, super heavy duty, all stainless steel. It was not built for this car. I'll say that. There's really no way to look at it from up here. This manifold was actually made for a 33-34 chassis. This is obviously a 32. You have to remove your air conditioning compressor, which basically means you got to get rid of your air conditioning system. So I did. This is not a daily driver. Hell, it's not even a show car. It's just a fun car to rip around in. And yeah, I don't need to make an excuse for it. I removed it. So there's your liquid and suction lines back here that I capped off, going into your evaporator in the cabin. But as for all the other lines, the condenser, the compressor, all the other shit is gone. Also, you're gonna have to notch out, you can't even see it from here, you have to notch out your engine mount because one of the runners will hit your engine mount. So to make that work on your 32, be it a GTR or a GTST like this car, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of headaches to squeeze that manifold in there. Worth it? In hindsight, I think I may have gone with a different exhaust manifold. I always liked the cocked turbo mount because I know a lot of turbo mounts are actually back towards more like the center of the engine. I like this look, but with this look comes a lot of headaches. Like, I like it when the compressor is pointing down and you can have the charge pipe go straight into the hole that the original charge pipe went to. But when it's cocked like this, at least with the HX35W compressor housing, there's just no room to point this down because it will hit your wheel well. And also, they have the external wastegate right underneath your turbo. So you really can't clock your compressor housing down because there's no room. It's going to hit your external wastegate. And you don't have to mount it this way. This, I fabbed here. This guy could easily mount to here and point straight down. I just like the look of it, having the, you know, twin wastegates visible. They don't have to be mounted like that. But it does make a difference with the plumbing. I guess from there, regarding the plumbing, I don't have a TIG welder that can weld aluminum, so I couldn't fab my own aluminum piece. So for now, it's going to have to be the silicone couplers, which I'm not happy about at all, but it just is what it is for now. The HX35W is a T3 twin scroll flange. This is a T4 twin scroll flange from 1320 Performance. So I needed an adapter, and Mamba actually makes one. It's 3/4 inches thick, which is good because any thicker and the turbo will sit up higher in the engine bay. And we're already having issues where the hood actually touches the compressor housing. Like right in here, like it just hits. So if I fold this back and I notch some of this out, I think I'll be able to close the hood. This is all experimental. All self-taught, no instructions, and everything was done DIY. So we have all stainless exhaust going out. Again, this was made in-house with a okay-ish TIG welder. It's an Everlast 160, and there's my Eastwood MiG 135. Just okay stuff. So the welds weren't that great. Goes from 2.5 to 3 to a 3-inch 45 to another 3-inch 45 to a flex section, all V-band, and then that goes into a 3-inch Autobahn 88 test pipe, which is a Catalytic, to a 3-inch titanium Pro 1 Performance exhaust. And to be honest with you, I cannot wait to hear this thing. Like, I'm not expecting it to be the fastest car in the world. I just want to hear it. Cars are kind of like musical instruments to me. I love the way they sound, and I'm really hoping I can hear this one. One thing I didn't do with this HX35 is remove the silencer, so you get more of a jet whistle out of this turbo, which is exactly what I want. Also, I have a turbo guard. So I'll explain why I don't have a mass airflow sensor in a sec, but for now, we're going to go to the TiAL 44mm wastegates, dump to atmosphere. It's going to dump right out the bottom here once I have everything on. And same with this guy. Same with this guy. So it comes out of your exhaust manifold and it dumps right out back. This is my power steering pump reservoir. The reason I have it back here and not up here is because at the time I was actually running an intake with my mass airflow sensor, but then I had an ECU change, so no longer needed a mass airflow sensor. So that could have gone up here to shorten up the lines. Hopefully it being back there and having all the lines rerouted up to the pump isn't an issue. We'll find out. I also don't have the fat ugly windshield washer reservoir, and now I have a Chase Bays. It's universal. You just gotta wire it in and just run your hose over to the original. And I also have my GrimmSpeed manual boost controller. These have 14.7 pound springs in them, and I can control the boost with that. Kind of old school. I know you can get an electric boost controller, and I guess we could talk about the ECU. So I'm going to be running on the Haltech Elite 2000, and I'm waiting on my wideband sensor along with the controller. It's the only reason I don't have it hooked up yet, but that'll take care of way more than I know how to take care of. And I want to get it at least running on my own skill. So for now, I just have a manual boost controller. So we have no more igniter chip. I don't even have one to show you. Here's my parts bin of all the factory R32 GTST parts. So if you want anything, let me know. But I got rid of the original coil packs and I replaced it / definitely upgraded it with R35 GTR coil packs, and that was help from FMZ. They make this awesome billet aluminum piece that basically help you bolt up R35 GTR coil packs. The only difference is with these is these have shorter rubber stocks. Also, the wiring is from Wiring Specialties. They're freaking awesome. Actually, I got all their stickers right here. FMZ, here's Wiring Specialties. Like, that shit's awesome. Look at that. Love it. I try and put all the stickers here for all the parts I got. Still missing my Haltech one. Like I said, the Wiring Specialties has an adapter loom that goes right to your factory harness. All right, and then yeah, we got this beautiful HKS overpriced oil fill cap, and I converted 3/8 MPT, 3/8 nominal pipe thread by, I don't even know, it was just like 3/8 hose barb. But anyways, I hate the factory one, so I just teed it here, upsized the hose, and ran it to my oil catch can here. There's my coolant overflow can, which is coming out of a Mishimoto aluminum radiator. Still have the factory shroud and fan. And moving on over, oh, can't not talk about this. This is the ISR aluminum intake manifold, forward facing, one piece. Thing's freaking beautiful. I'm also running in it 1000cc ISR injectors. They have little adapters that help you plug right into the factory harness as well. And then I have 6AN fuel lines, brand new fuel filter. I have a Walbro 255 LPH kit in the back, so a new fuel filter back there as well. In order to fit this into your R32, you need an R33 or similar, I should say, because some people say, what is it, 240SX or 180SX? Clutch master cylinders, you gotta get these because the R32's is way longer and it actually sticks out over this and it'll never fit. And it also scratched the shit out of it, so gotta upgrade that. And then I just got these Chinese made socks to cover up the reservoirs. I just think it looks good. To help with the fuel pressure regulation, we have an Aeromotive FPR. Again, silicone coupler. I see a lot of guys just 90 this down and go out the hole at the bottom there for the charge piping. But I kind of wanted to do this. I like the way it looked a little more, plus it helped me throw some sensors in. This is actually for my idle air control valve, which is underneath this plenum. You can't even see it. It's disgusting down there. Like, there's no way in hell you'd ever be able to get under here, ever. Like, forget about it. Hopefully you never have a leak, because it's terrible. We also have our intake air temp sensor here. That's going to be for the Haltech ECU. I just have to notch out this hole a little bigger. Probably come out to here, run it over, come in. It's tight. We also have brand new silicone radiator hoses, top and bottom. This is for an R32 GTR. All right, so moving to the front, we have a G Plus universal oil cooler / oil filter relocation kit. So like I said, you'd never be able to get your hands under here, and that is where the oil filter would be. So you put a sandwich adapter on there, and then you run your lines out to here. And this is all 10 AN hose, I believe. I also put in an oil temperature and oil pressure sensor for my gauge cluster I have inside. I'll show you that in a sec. So it goes from there to the cooler and then back to the engine. All right, let's go to the interior real quick. Actually, we'll show you the rear first. So I have a battery relocation kit from Summit Racing. It's just an aluminum box. It comes with like 0 gauge that I just ran through underneath the passenger seat, along the bottom where your feet would be on the driver's side, underneath through the firewall. I wrapped it in a heat reflective wrap just for further installation, and I have it go to a kind of like a junction box, I guess. I don't know what you'd call this down here. But that is for going to the fuse box and the starter. So now for the inside. This car is extremely dirty. It's been sitting in my garage for what feels like forever. It's the better part of a year. The interior is mostly untouched. I have all AEM gauges, and we got volts, boost, air fuel ratio. Down here we have oil pressure, oil temperature, all digital. And they're going to be controlled by a switch that I wired down here. There's a switch under the dash that will turn them on and off. So other than that, it's a factory interior. So yeah, back here we have our wire come up to a 200 amp circuit breaker. We got our ground hard mounted to the chassis. I'm planning on sticking a lithium ion battery in here, like an Optima, but there's no reason for me to get a battery yet because there's no ECU in the car. And there's no real rush for throwing the ECU in this car because it is February and we have had consecutive like 4-degree mornings. So even if I got the car running, I'm not driving it. I'm definitely gonna hold off till spring. But yeah, that's the GTST as she stands. And yes, I have a R32 GTR bumper in the box that will be going on this once it's ready. But we're a bit of ways from that stage. And then maybe one day when this is done, we can start working on our Subaru over here. So yeah, any questions, leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram, and vice versa. I guess I should go over what else I have body-wise real quick. 18-inch LMG T4s. With R34 rear flares that I cut down to help me cover up the disgusting rust that this car had. Also, the car didn't come with spats or side skirts. It came with mud flaps actually, so I guess you could say upgraded that. So that's it. Got to clean her up. Get her some car shows this summer. All right. Peace out.